If I could talk to you a little bit about the essential differences. What is the difference between Portugal's bond auction today and what we saw in Ireland and Spain yesterday? Or can we expect a repeat performance?
Well, I think it'll be foolhardy to expect a repeat performance. I mean, first of all, I would say we're looking more for a weak auction than a disastrous auction or a spectacular auction. Now, I think one of the key things has been that Portugal has been a regular participant in the primary markets of late. So the market will feel well saturated of Portuguese bonds. I think Ireland have been less so frequent in the market. So in that respect, it's a bit more debatable whether this will be a strong auction or not.
Now, compared to the German bonds, we're seeing the yields widen and widen on Portugal, more this morning, in fact. Are they now attractive to investors at this price?
No, clearly, some investors will find the auction more attractive, certainly than, say, 2 weeks ago. But the question is, will it be a blowout auction? Will it be a very strong auction? I think is, if anything, just a little bit foolhardy, we believe.
Now let's talk a bit about this budget deficit, because that clearly is one of the major sticking points. We've seen elsewhere, particularly in Ireland, those austerity measures really kicking in. It hasn't happened yet in Portugal. Do we need to see more austerity measures?
Well, we do need to see in the numbers. They announced additional measures in May, so maybe some of the measures haven't kicked in and haven't impacted the numbers yet. So we need to see, say, over the next 2 months, we need to see those measures kick in. If they haven't at that point, then clearly we do need more measures.
Are you concerned that about the fact that we haven't seen any difference yet? And of course, the more expensive debt gets, the harder that is to actually bring the deficit under control. So in a way, there's a potential for a vicious cycle here for Portugal that could land them in real hot water.
I mean, that's correct. I mean, it's the government has to be very proactive in terms of communicating to the market, communicating that they have measures in place and they have more measures to come. So this is going to be a key thing. It's about communication and information flow. And if the government leaves it too long in communicating to the market, then the situation will only get worse.
After looking at what happened with Spain and Ireland yesterday, and then we don't exactly know what's going to happen with Portugal today, well, which of the countries are you most concerned about? I mean, do you see that spectre of an IMF bailout hanging over Portugal at this stage? Well,
Portugal and Ireland have slightly different problems, but both of them are equally, in our view, rather troublesome. Ireland in terms of its banking liabilities, Anglo-Irish in particular. Portugal in terms of its budget not being able to reduce its deficit as it promised it would do. If you look at its target for the general deficit down at 7.3. But also its banking sector is becoming increasingly reliant on the ECB's money, which is only, the ECB have stated a commitment in terms of unlimited fixed rate funds only up until the year end. So the government will, the market will be increasingly nervous about this. And those two countries in particular are concerned, but they need to communicate to the market more.
OK, Orlando Green, thank you very much indeed for joining us today.